Hey, how's it going? Please excuse the bedhead. I was gonna do this earlier and I sat down and all of a sudden the phone was waking me up, so I guess I wanted to really do this. I could fix that, but who cares? Okay, so, pulled some cards from the, man, my brain just does not want to call this by its name anymore. From the Lightseers deck. And also some from, which one is this? Okay, the Messages of Oracle cards, which I have some tidying up to do behind the camera. Behind the camera, literally, like, over there. Miracles of Oracle deck, or Messages of Oracle deck. Guess I don't want to call that one by the right name either. Oh, do I need this? Maybe. Okay, so I have been feeling lately sort of blank. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not an emotional thing, I guess, so maybe it's not a feeling. I don't know. too much Vulcan logic trying to creep in. But anyway, I just life has gone on as usual, you know. There's not been any major upheaval in my life or going on around me. Well, actually, I don't know. I take it back. I guess there was upheaval. Anyway, it wasn't mine, though. So, but, I don't know. It's just this unspecified, other than, like, blank. And I know it's, like, well, I was watching a video, and it was Kelleena Malnar. I should probably, oh, gosh, I should definitely put the link up to there, because it would give a bit better, probably, explanation of what I'm going to try to say. But she was talking about jumping timelines, which, oops, I think is what we do when we level up. You know, like we have a significant change, or it feels significant to me. That's all I'm saying. But like, for instance, I have been working on my temper for a long time, but for a long time, nothing I was doing was even doing anything, because it wasn't the right way to go about it. And I've since done a little better in increments, those little frustratingly long taking measurements for things to happen. But sometimes you can't just jump a timeline without making some adjustments beforehand. So sort of related to this, I saw a Cryon video. Sorry, I went blank for a second there. I was just trying to, I don't know, wait for a thought to come together there, but I was watching Cryon, or a Cryon channeling. This was probably the first time I heard it, like years ago, but he repeats and reshapes and updates stuff, because he can't always just tell you all of something that's coming before time, or before it's, I don't know, before it's fork tender. I don't know, before it's ready. And he has this sort of avatar that he uses for his stories called Woe. And he says, Woe is not a man or a woman unless it is for the story. It's just a being. So Woe was having some, I don't remember like what the issue was with Woe this particular time, but okay, so he would want, I'm going to go with he wanted to level up spiritually or something, and he was like, I'm ready. And then I guess he was talking to Spirit, and Spirit said, well, go ahead, go through the door. Or go, yeah, go through the door. Or open the door? Oh, God. Well, anyway, the point is that he kept trying to, like, pass through the door, and he was trying to use the knob, and it's like trying to push on a door that's a pull door or an electric door, the motion sensor. Like, whatever it was, he was not able to coax or trigger that door open. So he went back to Spirit and was like, well, what the heck's going on? You said to go through the door. And the problem is with my telling you right here is I don't remember the exact phrase, but because that was kind of key. Because when he went back to Spirit saying, I can't get the door to open, Spirit said, I didn't tell you to, here's that phrase problem. So I'm going to just go either or with he said, I didn't tell you to open it or turn the knob. I said, go through it. Like a distinction of that nature was made. And so Will had to change his perspective and see, like, oh, that's not how it works. That's not what they meant. So that was not the procedure necessary to get through the door. and that's like what I feel like I was kind of, that's what I mean about like when you want to level up and it being like a timeline jump. So finally, Will figures it out and gets through there. And what I just said is the lesson learned. But then the Cryon goes on to say, like, you go through the door or you step over the threshold, like whatever the thing was that made him able to go ahead and level up, because there was some little something that needed to be tinkered with to make like the puzzle, like, I don't know why I have this vision of like a puzzle where it has to slot into the other side of it properly, like the other side of the threshold. And if you don't have it in the right position, it just won't work. Like Rubik's Cube or Jenga, like any kind of puzzle thing, either the piece you put or want to use will work and the puzzle will do what you want, or it won't. So you have to move on to an alternate piece. But Spirit told him, because he goes to the door, he goes, well, dang, everything looks pretty much the same. And Spirit's like, yep, that's how it works. But something's different about you. You were able to change the thing in yourself that made it possible for you to get through the door and get to this. Looks the same, but it's not quite the same. And that's why I think the leveling up is like a timeline jump. Because if I understand the multiverse and timelines, there's a whole bunch of ones that are real similar to this, but different, maybe visibly different sometimes. Maybe it looks the same on the surface until you start walking around and trying to put your key in doors and stuff, and like, oh, that's not even the same kind of lock I have a key for. And I guess you're on to the figuring out the next puzzle. Well, that got involved. So anyway, I think that happened to me and everybody else. So I'm probably not alone in feeling sort of out of phase. I feel better about it now because apparently I figured out how to get through a doorway. And then there was something else, which is why I need to link that Kelleena video, because she can talk about the Lionsgate portal and how long it is and what it does with more authority than I can. So if you're interested in that and you're feeling similarly to what I'm talking about, it might be helpful for you to check that out. Okay, so here are the cards I pulled. And so the Lights Here cards are a tarot deck. But here's what I got. So first card was the World. And all of these shapes represent something. And I didn't look them up to be able to come back and tell you their names, because the names matter, I think. My bad. But that's kind of like, maybe it is a key to a piece of information that needs to be unlocked by you, because they're not unfamiliar to me. I have at least seen the names or read them and learned about them too, over and over, so I'm familiar with them is what I'm saying. It's really too bad that I can't tell you more about them. Again, my bad, but maybe not, because that is your opportunity to go investigate these for yourself. So I'm going to hold them up so you can hold it up so you can see really closely that looks like a, I'm going to say a dodecahedron, but no, actually that's not that shape. But it's reminding me of a Dungeons and Dragons die with, like, you know, they have, I don't know, I think I saw somewhere there was an 18-sided dice. That seems like it's in another dimension. But, you know, that's just my perception. And then this guy with this repeating, what is that, pentagonal shape, because it's on the outside, and then there's a big triangle, and then it's on the outside of a smaller triangle. It's like, it's just repeating itself. But is it just doing that? I don't know. You need to investigate if you want to know the answer to that one. It may not even say anything about that. But anyway, this guy is reminding me so much of what I think of our vehicle. Oh, come on. I can't remember the name of it. The spaceship. Oh my God. With the Star of David. Oh, oh my gosh. I'm drawing such a blank. And I know what that one is too. It's going to come to me, hopefully, while I'm still doing this. And then this, oh, and then this guy, this cube stuff. So, and then also don't miss this seed of life behind there, because that is like about to jump through a portal or doorway, sort of entryway, into a new growth in your life. It's right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in Navajo dance, there's one they do with hoops, and I'm pretty sure it's about like going through portals, what the hoops are about. So ding ding ding, I just made a connection for myself. I don't know if it's going to make any sense to anyone else. Moving on. Oh, we just have a repeating pattern here. So you can fall through the doorway too and not worry about the fact that it looks almost the same, because look, almost the same as the last card. Here's another seed of life. Like a symbol of new growth, hope, potential, and just trusting, like, hey, nothing's gonna go wrong. I think even you don't have to use the handle God or spirit. I think if you are just right with the world, you know, your heart's in a good place, your head's in a good place, you're kind, you're generous for, you know, no reason, just because it's the right thing to do and it feels good to help. You just feel like, you know, you got nothing to lose whatever you do. You know, whatever happens, it's all good. I feel like that's the energy here. And I think that's a good mindset to move forward from blankness to. So, Two of Pentacles. It sure looks like juggling is happening here, but she's got this, I want to say it's some kind of musical instrument for some reason, or or what do you call it? Canteen? Is that those things you put water in? But anyway, she's wearing it. It's on her. It's not any kind of really illusion or anything. Like it's like real. It's reality. And it looks like she's also dancing, right? Often this is a card of juggling for readers. I hear them say that, juggling this or that, or the other symbolic thing of the life of the person they're reading, I guess, or the situation. But the sun, it looks like it would be part of the juggle, but it is not. It's the sun, which is also real, but it's like way the heck out in space and way bigger than it looks in perspective with her. Like it almost looks like the sun and this are the same, equidistant and the same size, which is not the case. But it's like you juggling your personal life with this whole other larger reality and world, and the sun affects everything around it and definitely on this planet. So if things are going to happen with a perpetuity, like the sun's going to rise every day, and in my lifetime at least, it's going to give life, and that's probably for many lifetimes to come before it starts doing something harmful. By then, hopefully we'll have learned to travel to someplace where it's healthier to be. But anyway, for right now, you're like, this is like, I guess, the collective kind of juggling reality and the greater world and the concepts and like all this other stuff going on everywhere else this person is not, but they still got stuff going on in their own personal little life with their handbag, whatever that thing is. And she doesn't look like disturbed. She looks intent. So I don't know, like keeping her head to her business, and I feel like that's never a bad way to go, especially when you're in and around a world of other people. Can't we all just get along? So the next card is Strength, number 8. And you'll see on a traditional tarot deck, it's a woman with a lion, and it either looks like she's gonna, put her head in the lion's mouth with all kinds of trust because they got that, or she just somehow like controlling the lion so that it's not savaging her, it's not, going wild, and it's symbolic of her having control over this wild beast. But in this one, it goes to something that I often think, which is the beast is you that you have to control. And sometimes that takes a lot of strength for you to be like containing this wildness in yourself when you're going to be out in the world with other people. And you got to kind of, get along. But there's also just whatever comes along in the world, which right now there's a lot of sort of challenging events and ideas happening in America and the world, which we are, of course, in a lot of ways involved with and affected by. So that can manifest in our own little personal lives here in the U.S. in a lot of ways. And, maybe even just the coexisting is the challenge. And what we have to be strong enough to get through and help out with, because in a lot of ways we can be helpful to one another. It doesn't have to be, it can be big or small. It never hurts. Like the smallest thing can be helpful. Like just smiling at someone who's bummed out and thinking no one notices them and the world is terrible. And then if someone smiles at you, you're like, oh, wait, I was wrong. No, it's not. You know, or to be able to be that person to feel that way and be healed by a smile. There, you just flipped your timeline, you changed your mind, you changed your mood and attitude. It's like the little small things matter. And so in the future, this is what we got coming, and it's gonna be like things happening really fast. If it feels like time is moving faster, it may be a feature of your particular age in the moment, but a number does not always confer a level of consciousness or understanding. Like it feels like as I've aged, time is moving faster. There's a number of reasons for me to feel that perception, and also everyone else too. So it's not just that. And to hear my spiritual voices tell it, yeah, it's speeding up, and it just, okay, I think it has to do with the way that our planet and our galaxy are sort of, or wait, not our galaxy, well, whatever, like our planet is moving through the galaxy, and I think that changes the perception of time. And that, oh God, I don't know if it's happened yet, but something astrological is supposed to happen to the planets where they're going to change their astrological names, I think. I guess I need to investigate that more myself. But anyway, and that's like an indication of like the reason why stuff is happening fast is because lots of stuff is happening. It may not be perceptible or visible to everyone, but like look at what happened with the Democratic presidential nominee process, and you know, like it almost is like, hey, we have to remember Joe Biden is still the president until the election rolls around in January or November. So I have to keep reminding myself, and I hope like in some way it leaks out of my brain to everybody else. Like, yeah, he's still the president. Kamala still vice president. And everyone's talking about her VP choice, and is she nominated even yet? I think she was. I don't know. I feel like that's going good, fine. I don't need to I don't need to pay attention to it and therefore somehow control it. I don't have any control until the vote thing happens, but, well, I mean, except for that leaky thought thing, that has more of an effect than I think people that don't think about that realize. It's a vibe thing. Anyway, 7, 8, 2, 0, 21. Just checking to see if anything else was repeating, like the seeds of life on those tarot cards. Okay, so the other cards that I pulled from the Miracles of Cosmic deck. The first one is, someone is in need of your love. Offer it to them. Offer them that little smile, that's some love. Or, you know, if you feel comfortable doing more and it's like with the other person's consent, maybe a hug, handshake, human contact. Actually, if you don't get a lot of it or enough of it, it can really like change your day, just like the smile. It's all love. I hope. The next card, it reads, you have such a bright light inside. Stop dimming it. Well, I mean, don't hold back. Don't hold back on, like, sharing the love. Just offer it whenever it seems safe and acceptable. Just in general, be be light, be nice and kind and loving. It's not that hard. I mean, don't overthink it, you know? Then the last one reads, give yourself some credit for doing a good job at this whole living thing. You know, I think we're so hard on ourselves. Like, we don't really think about, like, how just the smallest thing can make the biggest difference. And how often, like, if we're stingy giving, like, a little bit of love to other people, how generous do you think we're being with ourselves? Well, I don't know. With me, well, I don't have that, what I was just describing, but I want everybody to be happy. I want to give it to you, to me, but I'm, hard on myself, and I think we are all that. I think we're our harshest critics, and I mean, we make ourselves sick, worrying and thinking, angry stuff. And then, if we can, like, change one little thing for someone else about ourselves, like, that is good. And we should give ourselves credit, especially when we're, like, the meanest boss ever. We deserve a bonus every once in a while. It's not the end of the world. Like, it's a good thing. So, how am I doing on time? I can't see that. Oh my goodness. Really good. Okay, one last thing. So I definitely felt myself moving from blankness to the next thing. But I just had started to, for some reason, be able to relax about things that give me anxiety. And I was just sitting here doing my usual thing, and I was watching something, and it just came to me, like, I was looking at the comment section, and I had a comment, always my brain's like, like, fire something off, but I didn't go to make the comment or anything. I just kind of looked at it, and I was thinking, is that really going to help anything if you do that? Like, what is that contribution going to be any good for? I was like, where's this coming from? But, that's true. I'm not like Marie Curie with this comment business. Like, and then it was like, oh, and I get mad at it because the thing I always say on there when someone gets bent out of shape about something I say is like, well, you can just keep scrolling, or, go to the next tab, just, and then I'm gone. And was I taking it to heart? No, I'd be all beating myself up. Why? There's enough beatings you could get outside of your own comfort zone. And there was another one that came to me. I was like, don't add to the miasma. You don't need to. It's plenty screwed up as it is. So, just those two little tiny tumblers, those two little tiny whatevers inside of a lock that make the tumblers fall happened. The pennies dropped, the shoe fell. Why did it take so long? I don't know. It wasn't time to step through that doorway hoop. But I got there, so all I can say is I just feel so much more mellow and relaxed about everything. Just like, whatever. I was so close anyway, And this is like, oh God, I guess official day 2. It's after midnight since I realized or felt these things, and I just feel changed. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Thank you and good night.